2020 US presidential elections already seeing a spike in the number of Democratic candidates very eager to challenge Donald Trump. Now, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio has become the 23rd Democrat to announce his campaign. And it seems the party's focusing on divisions in US society rather than unity in it, as Maupin explains.
The way politics is supposed to work, candidates are expected to win the hearts and minds of voters by promising ways that they can fix up the country's problems and pointing a way forward for America. However, in 2019, it seems that a lot of candidates are arguing rather that who they are in terms of age, race, and gender is more important than any policy proposals.
I think we need to articulate the values, lay out our philosophical commitments, and then develop policies off of that.
Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders, both of them elderly white men, are the two top candidates for the Democratic nomination in the year of 2020. Now, regardless of their policies, that fact alone has got top Democrats crying sexism.
I think it's just gender bias. I think people are generally biased against women. I think also biased against young women. There's just bias, and it's real, and it exists. But you have to overcome it.
A female candidate, Amy Klobuchar, has been accused of being too harsh. Stories of her mistreating her former staff members and creating a harsh work environment have found their way into the press. Now, her supporters say that is not a legit concern. That's sexism. And a coalition of women's groups has stepped up to say that the media's coverage of the 2020 race is laced in sexism and gender bias. Now, it's important to note that Hillary Clinton made similar arguments back in 2016.
I haven't been shouting, but sometimes when a woman speaks out, some people think it's shouting.
Democrats have been quibbling about the importance of women and minorities to counter Trump's so-called white identity.
Trump has perfected white identity politics.
The Republican Party is increasingly a white identity politics party.
In today's America, why come up with complex policy proposals when you can simply run on the basis of what you were born as? And why defend yourself with logical arguments when you can simply decry your opponent as being a bigot? In today's America, it seems that identity politics is a new reality as the country shapes up for the next election.
All the identity politics come from the left because that's what they've been hinging their campaigns on for the past few years. They're creating division all to try and get certain people on their side that believe the same way they do. Last time in 2016, there was no so-called person of color on the Democratic side. A battle over who's going to be the actual candidate. There's going to be some identity politics going on there. If Joe Biden is successful, people may say, oh, well, you had a woman over here, a black person over here, an LGBT person over here. Why weren't they elected? And then if a person that is not a straight white male becomes the nominee, then the problem will be if they lose, it was because they are of this particular identities.